And now we're going to swing over to Washington. We're joined by Mr. Nabil Mikhail. He's a lecturer at George Washington University. Hello, Professor Mikhail. Professor, the majority of Bahrainis are against the way the Al Khalifa families govern the country. And when they hold these peaceful rallies to voice their dissent, they're beat, shot, incarcerated, having their citizenship revoked or disappeared. Yet here they are 5 years on, and still they're showing up every day, or practically every day, to protest their marginalization. Your thoughts on their plight and the resolve they've shown over these last 5 years?
There is definitely a democracy deficit in Bahrain, since this is a genuine and domestic protest, and I will put emphasis on the word domestic. Everything in politics is domestic, so these are the concerns of people, and they feel that their conditions should improve. And I would not bet on the fact that their conditions improve. So I think they have the right to protest. Everything is protestable. They have the right to air their messages. They have the right to explain why they have grievings. They also have the right to question why they are not basically enjoying the basics of the administration of justice in terms of arrest, in terms of intimidation, in terms of the right to publish. So I think their condition could be chronic unless a serious effort is being made to address their basically complaints and the things that they have submitted. I'm quite sure that their views are known. It is not something new. So I call on the Bahraini authorities to listen to them, to treat them better, to see how they can be citizens of the Kingdom of Bahrain. If they are seeking fair treatment, they should get fair treatment.
Right, and you know, many critics feel had Manama not allied itself, or had Manama not been allied with the Western governments, perhaps they would have been sanctioned long ago for the mistreatment of their own civilians. Do you agree with that?
This is to a large extent true, but what is new in the whole situation in the Middle East now is that we are seeing very serious violations of human rights. Syria is a real tragedy. Iraq, of course, there is violence and there are serious misgivings about human rights. Yemen also is a case of a serious violation of human rights. So actually that does not help the people of Bahrain, because basically there is now an equality of grievances. There is basically a common denominator sweeping over the Middle East, that people want justice. In fact, even the whole area of North Africa, I wonder what will happen in Algeria, in Morocco, in Tunisia, in Libya, in Mauritania, because also people there are seeking justice and democracy.
Right.
I do not want to relate the whole issue to the Arab. Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, but the three countries that you mentioned, all of them are going through some kind of conflict, or there's some kind of internal struggle or some kind of chaos taking place in the country. But Bahrain is supposed to be at a time of peace right now, and there is no foreign force. There's no invasion on the country. What excuse does it have to marginalize and oppress these people for such a long? I mean, it's just getting played out for way too long. Your thoughts on that?
Like, say, I studied political science, so peace does not mean tranquility. Peace is a value and is a virtue, because it depends on how much you enjoy peace. So the question, as I said earlier, everything is domestic. There is a segment in the population of Bahrain who does not enjoy that peace. So the element of equilibrium in the society, tranquility in the relations among the people, is still lacking. There has to be a serious addressing of that problem, void of any military option, away from using violence, And as I said earlier, the biggest right in human rights is the right to complain. If anyone, whether in Bahrain or anywhere else, cannot complain, this is basically a dehumanization of the individual who is the creature of God. So you have to solve this problem. You have to realize that peace is only one element of the political body, but justice, fairness, equality, confidence, respect, all these values could be missing.
Thank you, Professor, for your input. That's Professor Nabil Mikhail joining us out of Washington. He's a lecturer at George Washington University.